Mass begins, I was asked to say a few words about our parish's annual Stewardship Appeal. During my career as an elementary school principal, I was focused on the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. The theme of our parish's appeal is rendered by God and focuses on a different set of 3 R's: reflect, renew, and respond. Rendered, to give or supply. I recognize that my husband Peter and I have been so blessed by God. Even when difficult times arose, as they do in all of our lives, God rendered us the strength and the hope to endure. Our first reading today speaks of us being called by name. With that calling also comes great responsibility. As we were raising our 4 kids, I would say to them, someday you're going to have to stand before your God, and he will ask you, did you use the gifts that I gave you for the betterment of the kingdom? To this day, I still ask myself that same question. As I thought and prayed about what to say today, I realized that reflect, respond, and renew encapsulates what led my husband and I to St Alphonsus Parish. 3 years ago, we were both retired from our jobs, and we began wondering, well, now what? Where should we devote our time and our energy, and where should our focus lie? We came to the realization that we needed to find a new spiritual home that would feed our souls and help us to focus our energies on a life centered around God. This reflection led to our response, joining St Alphonsus Parish, where we found a vibrant community focused on supporting us on our faith journey. And by doing so, we have been renewed in our faith. I am part of the bereavement ministry that meets with families to support them as they plan their loved ones' funeral liturgies. Our ministers also attend and support the families during the visitation and the funeral mass. This ministry has allowed me to actively see the face of God in those that we minister to. I am deeply touched by the great love that I see among families at that very difficult time. We hear these wonderful testimonies about people who have lived faith-filled lives. Our world is filled with much hatred, violence, and injustice. But the peek that I get into these families' lives helps me to recognize that God is truly alive and at work in our world. I hope that in the coming week, you have some time to reflect about the gifts that God has given to you. There is always something to be thankful for. I encourage you to respond and renew your commitment to our parish in prayer, in financial support, and in ministry. St. Alphonsus is a very special place. My husband and I thank you for praying with us each weekend. We thank the parishioners that we have met through his lecturing, when I Eucharistic minister, how when we helped with the auction, the great people we met, the people we've met through the meal program, my fellow women at the well, my bereavement ministers and graveside ministers that I work with, the RCIA participants, the St. Alphonsus priest and pastoral leadership team. Your faithful modeling of faith helps to support us in our faith journey. I end with the words from the second reading today. We give thanks to God always for all of you, remembering you in our prayers, unceasingly calling to mind your work of faith and labor of love and endurance in the hope of our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you.